Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been pining over Baby Yoda since 2017. I'm your producer. That was weird. We're going to redo that.
Should we reclap?
No, let's just take a moment of silence so I can just erase that from my memory. The fantasy football podcast that's been obsessing over Baby Yoda since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been just loving Baby Yoda endlessly since 2017, trying to make each other look stupid, and this intro's gone off the rails because I forgot how it goes. How's it going, fellas?
Do you not remember the intro?
It's two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your league and find a Baby Yoda of your own.
That's we changed it to that.
To call your son.
Since 2019.
Since 2020.
In the future. So Mandalorian just came out. Well, first of all, Disney Plus just launched. Did you get Disney Plus yet, Rob?
I did not get Disney Plus. The name is just pushing me away.
Disney Plus
like
name?
Disney. Yeah, just because of the name. I'm just like, oh, what am I subscribing to? The Little Mermaid?
The Mandalorian is what you're subscribing to.
Hell yeah.
Apparently.
What should it be named?
Something else, not Disney.
No, I'm saying, let's get the creative juices flowing here.
I think I'm just like extremely averse to anything Disney because it creeps me out, and I think of people that like love to go to Disney World, and those people creep me out.
Like my sister.
Yeah, probably.
Like everyone that wants to be happy.
Sorry, Sam. Sorry.
I also love going too. You dick.
Sorry,
I've actually never been, and
never been.
Based on the stories I've heard about the lines, I don't know if I ever will.
No. That's because no. Whoever told you that? God, no. You have to get fast passes. You can get fast passes like 2 weeks in advance, so you plan out where you're going. The sister of the pot did this a couple of months
ago. What
ago.
happens if everyone gets a fast pass?
It literally cuts
anymore.
It cuts the lines down to like 5-10 minutes each. It's nothing.
Oh wow. Okay.
How much art? I don't even want to know.
No, I don't know. I don't think they're.
I don't want to know.
If you're staying at a Disney hotel, I don't think they cost anything. You just have to get the fast pass. You have to like get to the park or like do it online or something like that. Could be wrong on that, but that's the way to do it.
Bottom line, Disney World creeps me out, and I think that people that like to go there are creepy.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's obnoxious.
A fire take right there.
No, that's not a fire take. That's an obnoxious.
That's like 75% of the population.
Probably.
Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's a bad take. But I don't care.
I think it's all
how
that.
I feel, and that's just how I just got to say it.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry.
So let me ask you this: are you just going to like punt on the Mandalorian? You're just going to miss this experience?
Oh no, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna watch it on someone else's account.
But you're gonna be giving it to Disney then. So
yes.
Well, on a side note, great, fantastic piece of viewing. I guess it's not really television, but piece of art. Yes, it is. It's just badass. Really great show. Baby Yoda is a revelation. Also a top tier meme. He's on like the dark Kermit level for me right now in terms of like some of my favorite memes of all time. So I'm here for it. And it's only begun. It's only going to get better from here.
I hope.
You won't know. You're not going to watch it.
What's the cultural phenomena around Baby Yoda right now? How do we get here?
I think it's like the same energy as like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, but just like 10,000 times more adorable. So
it's just a creature that's so cute.
It's the eyes. It's all about the eyeballs.
Also, the eyes and the ears.
They nailed
the ears. They're like flickering in the wind. It's also not Yoda. Just throwing it out there.
Right. Side note.
It's not?
No.
It's probably not Yoda. And or almost definitely
it's definitely
Yoda.
not. Yoda died. Well,
Oh wait! Don't say anything.
Do I want to put this?
Don't say anything because I haven't watched it yet. Don't say.
You're not going to watch it after what you just said. The Mandalorian takes place after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So by that timeline, have you seen the original 3 Star Wars? Or am I going to ruin those for you?
I'm pretty sure I've seen them. Yes.
Okay. Yoda dies in 6, so it's and this takes place after. I think it's going to be a kid of Yoda. I think Yoda got it on.
Ooh, Yoda fucks.
Yoda fucks, dude. Yoda fucks. This baby is 50 years old. Yoda had a fuck a while ago.
Wow.
I don't know
who. Now that's something I legitimately cannot picture in my mind.
I'm throwing this out there too. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. I don't know anything about I've only seen 3 episodes. There's another Yoda species. There's Yoda and then there's Yaddle. Those that don't know,
Ooh.
It's a female Yoda thing.
It's like the
I think
Waluigi of Yodas
in Phantom Menace, and
wow,
that's how Baby Yoda came
about. I think Baby Yoda should be a Mario Kart character.
Wow, no, dude, Super Smash,
yeah, both
Super Smash,
Super Smash for sure.
That'd be an amazing Super Smash character. You're right. Wow.
Oh shit, it really would.
Wow. All right,
did they put a Star Wars character in there?
You know what? Disney's got to make a Super Smash with. Wow. Okay.
You know what? Could.
Oh my god!
You know what we should
shut it down. Let's talk about this off the mic.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going. But this is almost the sequel to our food mascot fight game that's in the works right now. So we'll just keep it going. Yeah. Same format, legitimately the same exact game, just change some of the characters. That's it. And then get that little kid Christmas credit card money for the add-on features. Baby Yoda is just a cash cow. Let's go.
All you got to do is just include extra outfits and then charge money for digital outfits.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, digital kid, you want to buy some digital clothing? Nice.
Taco Bell game menu of the week. And we start with Crunchwrap Supreme. Games of the week. You know what time it is. I think I say that every single pod, too. You know what time it is.
Love it.
Yeah, it's our catchphrase. 49ers at Saints for the first Crunchwrap Supreme game of the week.
Ooh.
Great game. Great matchup. 49ers at Ravens it lived up to the hype, in my opinion, last week. This one is another great, maybe an NFC Championship preview?
Very possibly. I would throw, it's going to be tough to knock Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson out of the playoffs, but I would totally agree that these are the top 2 contenders at the moment. Niners look a little bit more rock solid than the Saints just because they kind of seem to show up every week. The Saints have had some off weeks. But this game at home for the Saints, this is going to be fun, dude. In the dome, you get those gold helmets on both sides shimmering.
Love that. Yeah, you're right. Both.
And I legitimately don't know who I would take here. The Saints are favored by just because they're at home, but
3.5.
I don't know, dude. The Niners just show up every week, and they're so. I mean, not that the Saints aren't well coached, but the Niners are on another level right now. Robert Saleh, their defensive coordinator, just brings it. First off, they only gave up 20 points to Lamar Jackson this week, which is
impressive.
Impressive, and I don't know. Barring Justin Tucker being an incredible kicker, like that game could have gone very differently, and we'd be talking about the Niners in a totally different light right now. Give me them on the road. I think this is like a field goal game. So that 3.5 to me, I'll take the points all day.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Look, I want to talk about the matchup for a little bit, and then maybe that'll sway me one way or the other. But 49ers, Jimmy G's putting together a pretty solid season. This is a tough matchup for him. They're top 7 against the quarterbacks, I believe, so far. Off the top of my head, Saints. Raheem Mostert, though, I think this is a backfield right now to avoid.
Yes.
Matt Breida has been hurt for the past couple weeks. Tevin Coleman, what is happening with him? Because Raheem Mostert just looked like a world beater last week.
As a heavy investor in Tevin Coleman, not loving this. Just going to throw it out there. I don't think I could play him this week in the playoffs.
No, you can't.
It's just as much as I want to, I'll play I also am a heavy investor in Miles Sanders. I'll play Miles Sanders over him all day because at least I know that he's going to catch the ball and he's going to be the focal point out of the backfield.
If Jordan Howard's out.
And even if Howard is in, I think that he's still has seized a little bit more of the role than what Coleman is guaranteed on a weekly basis. Because what if Breida's back? Then all of a sudden now we got Mostert and Breida to contend with. So it's a mess. Maybe I'll just find a wide receiver to plug in instead of both of those guys. But to me, I'm actually prioritizing guys like Devin Singletary and Miles Sanders over what is now a known quantity in terms of it being a definite unknown in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think if Breida comes back this week, even more of a reason to sit Coleman, and then Mostert is not a streamer, in my opinion. The Saints, on the other side, you can't really bench any of them. Michael Thomas, Kamara, Breeze. Jared Cook is starting to turn up the Jets a little bit. Mark Andrews did score a touchdown against the 49ers last week, so he's not a bad streaming play. Like, I have Greg Olsen in one league. Oh, you picked up Jared Cook. Never mind. I tried to pick him up 2 weeks ago. It would have been a great plug-and-play there, but Jared Cook, you could do worse. But I'm going to take the 49ers as well. I don't think they lose 2 in a row, this 49ers team. And the Saints have been really up and down this year. The 49ers are 5-17 straight up when they're an underdog, including that loss to the Ravens. But it's just a gut feeling. Chiefs at Patriots, AFC Conference Championship matchup preview.
As long as somebody knocks off the Ravens before they get there. I don't think the Chiefs are getting enough buzz right now. I
don't think so either.
I know it was the Raiders, but they crushed them this week, and it was exactly what you expect from the Chiefs. I don't think the Patriots can go tick for tack or tit for tat. I don't know what it is with the Chiefs offensively. Tyreek Hill. First off, DeAndre Hopkins he had a very nice game against Stephon Gilmore. First time we've seen that all year, actually. Yeah. And I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to have much trouble either. I really remember what Patrick Mahomes did to this team last year in the playoffs, in the regular season. He went bananas. And the difference here is I don't think the Patriots can keep up anymore. So give me the Chiefs.
Not Tom Brady. Yeah. I think Patriots are favored by 3. For the individual teams, Pat Mahomes kind of has the Madden curse this year.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing. Antonio Brown had it last year. Tom Brady the year before.
It's so true.
They didn't. Pat Mahomes has it. Whatever. It's crazy. Darrell Williams got hurt in the middle of the game, so Darwin Thompson came out of nowhere and split carries with LaShawn McCoy. Again, another backfield to stay away from this week, especially the Patriots. They just the teams that do well against the Patriots, like the Texans last week, they take one guy like Duke Johnson and they exploit their matchups. And the Chiefs are going to do that with Tyreek Hill this week, and Kelsey even too. They have 2 options. Tom Brady, he turned around in the second half, but that was ugly. And I think he's a bench play, and Sony Michel is a bench play. What are we doing about James White though? We playing him?
I feel like this is going to be kind of a shootout, or as much of a shootout as the Patriots can make it. And for that reason, I think James White is going to be a very busy man. So if you're in a PPR league, it doesn't get much safer. Like I think he's going to get 6 to 8 catches, just by proxy of what the game is going to look like. But the ceiling, I don't know if it's there. So you could probably do better, but you definitely could also do worse. He's like a middling flex play, I would say.
Yeah. So since 2013, Andy Reid was hired. They've played 3 regular season games against New England. They've gone 2-1 straight up and 3-0 against the spread. The Patriots almost always cover at home. The past 25 home games against AFC teams, they've gone 23-2 straight up. 18-6-1 against the spread. I think the Patriots are going to win and cover here, and I think it's going to be like a touchdown. It's going to be pretty close. This 3.0 line is a really tough one.
Yeah,
but again, same thing as the 49ers. I don't think the Patriots can lose 2 games in a row.
Okay.
You know what?
I just love the Chiefs. I find them so intoxicating to watch that I'd rather pull for them, so that's why I'm picking them.
Damn it. I don't know. Whatever. Move on. Ravens at Bills. Ravens are favored by 6. Ravens got to keep on playing them. Marquise Brown is the epitome of a boom bust like Will Fuller. More on that when we talk about the Lions matchup and my stupid boneheaded move this past week. The Bills, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is just good TV.
I am. This is something that I said all day on Thanksgiving. I said Bills are going to win this game, and
we called it. We both called that last week.
We were watching the pregame, and every single analyst picked the Cowboys, and the line was, I think, 6. Maybe it was a little bit less. I don't even remember. And everyone was like, "Oh, the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to win," and blah blah blah. They're going to be whatever it is, 7-6, whatever it is, tied with the Eagles. They're still tied with the Eagles. It's just they look a lot worse. It's time to start playing with your ball sack here, and not in the literal way. I'm talking about betting with your balls. Give me the Bills here. I think they win this game.
Wow. All right.
Yep.
Dig that.
Sean McDermott, low-key best coach in the NFL this year.
He's an unbelievable coach. He's getting so underlooked as a coach of the year, potentially. Let me see. The past 4 times... Wait, hold on. Bills have been 8-3-1 this year for covering the spread. Best team in the NFL. They've done a good job of covering large spreads at home. Past 4 times they've been an underdog of 6 or more in Buffalo at home. They've gone 4-0 against the spread, 2-2 straight up. I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they're a buzzsaw. They're not losing to the Bills, I don't think.
I also knew I couldn't take 3 straight road favorites. Something's got to give there. So give me the home dog Bills, especially the Bills Mafia in December. I think they can kind of muddy the game like the 49ers did. I think they will attack Lamar Jackson. Like you saw the 49ers shove him out of bounds 8 times this past Sunday. I think the Bills do more of the same. They have a similar kind of swagger to the Ravens. I think they can match them there. And I don't know. I'm excited about that team. They're kind of like my NFL crush right now because they just do everything pretty well. And yeah, exactly. And I know the Ravens do a lot of things really well, but I think the Bills are just so solid. I think this is the type of game where you're scratching your head and going, how good are these Bills right now?
Dude, you bite your tongue. They're in our division, AFC East.
I know. It sucks, but that's how I feel.
I like Josh Allen, too. Next one, Doritos Locos matchups. Properly hyped, but missing some clout. Colts at Bucks. Bucks are favored by 3.5. What? Jonathan Williams. What the fuck happened this past week when you decided to put up 8 for 14, 1 catch, and Jordan Wilkins, who got 0 touches the week before, out-touched you and out-yarded you. You, sir, suck.
Yes.
And I can't believe I fell for it. I played him in 2 leagues. I wouldn't have made a difference because I got daddied in both leagues anyway. But these running back situations, these 3-headed running back situations in almost every team in the NFL are so annoying to figure out.
Honestly, 0 running back strategy. I mean, maybe I'll expand upon this next week in our, year in review segment for Wednesday. But I think the 0 running back strategy, things like this is why that strategy exists. And honestly, it would have worked this year. If you passed on a guy like James Conner because you didn't want to go pick a player that you knew is not a second round player, you're probably feeling really great about that decision. So it might be something I take a serious look at next year, because you could theoretically have picked up your entire starting backfield after week 5. If you picked up, somebody like, who am I thinking of? I don't even know. But, there's plenty of guys that just get work that pop up late in the year. For example, Jordan Wilkins, that
came out of nowhere though.
Not that he's a start, but I mean, there's situations like that where you could just pick a guy up off the street and you could be doing just fine with him.
Here's my issue with that though, is Jonathan Williams 2 weeks ago I think he came out of nowhere because Marlon Mack broke his hand in that game. Can't rely on that. He was just picked up later in the season, Jonathan Williams. So no one played him that week. The week after, you kind of have to play him because he's a starter. This week, assumed the starter again in what was supposed to be an okay matchup. Tennessee was 20th at the time against running backs. Should have done well. Gets benched for poor play. Jordan Wilkins, who had 0 touches and barely any snaps the week before, even though he was healthy, played this week, played a little better. But still not enough to start. So that's my only issue with that strategy. I like the idea of it, but in practice, you run into these things where Jonathan Williams gets you 3 points. If someone picked up Jordan Wilkins, which no one did because they didn't see this coming, he's on the bench anyway, and you get screwed in two different facets. And Marlon Mack's going to come back soon, too.
Great point. It's another thing where we should probably mimic NFL teams as fantasy owners and just say these running backs are replaceable.
Get the backfield.
Yeah, so just treat them as replaceable pieces and make sure you have the roster space to do it. But I think that's a great strategy.
Or get Chris Carson and Rashad Penny.
Yep.
You see what's happening in Seattle now. Like, get both of them.
Marlon
Mack and handcuff. You got a handcuff now in every single backfield.
And in the best case scenario, you could start Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, like I might do in a Hoboken League this year.
That's a running back 2 and a flex right there. That's fine. 2 running backs you're not really starting or flexing is Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones on the other end of the field. Just like a infuriating running back tandem here. It's a hot hand, I guess, every week.
Yeah.
So bench him, but Jameis, again, like you said, puts up numbers. So this one is the Bucs favored by 3.5. I'm going to take the Bucs on this one. I think the Colts are kind of spiraling out of control underneath it all. I don't think they're that good.
Totally agree. Hang tight with Mike Evans. I know he hasn't been his full nuclear self, his Super Saiyan self. It's coming.
Super Saiyan.
And give me the Bucs as well. I think Jacoby Brissett is like legitimately injured, and he's playing. So,
yeah, 100%.
That, like, I don't, and you got a guy like Todd Bowles attacking you as a defensive coordinator. Like, I know the Bucs defense is not like that stout, but they can make some things happen when they need to, and I think the Bucs win this game pretty big.
Yeah, I agree. Seahawks at Rams, tough NFC West challenge here. Seahawks are favored by 2.5. So we're recording this Monday night. As we're recording it, it's almost halftime of the Seattle-Minnesota game. Minnesota's up 14-7. But Seattle's looked pretty good. Their running back situation has been almost split down the middle. Chris Carson got a touchdown. Rashad Penny they're almost on the goal line right now. He's out in the field, but he's getting like almost more work. So here's what I think. Here's what I think needs to be done in this game. I don't think it matters that the Rams are home and the Seahawks are away. I think you play Penny as a high-end flex.
Yes.
If you're one of those situations where you drafted, like me, Jesus, who's the guy on Detroit?
Oh, yeah. Carry on.
Kerryon Johnson and Sony Michel. And I traded Sony Michel to you. I also had Marlon Mack. These 3 running backs. I had Carlos Hyde, who sucks. I'm going to play Penny next week because I kind of have to. I have him and Kenyon Drake and Jonathan Williams. Like, who else am I going to play? But that's a high upside like running back that I could live with. And Chris Carson, you kind of have to play because he's still got a touchdown. He's still got goal line work. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think you can play both. I don't know what route this game is going to take. Like, it could be really ugly. It could be just a shootout. Who knows, honestly? It all really comes down to like what the Rams look like because we know Russell Wilson will do his thing. We know the Seahawks defense is like good but has some holes. Like, what version of the Rams are we going to get? I think that's really the biggest obstacle here. And if you're a Seahawks investor, I think you want the Rams offense to be electric so that the Seahawks have to keep pace.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I don't like. Was it a flash in the pan this past week? Probably for the Rams.
It was because of the Cardinals.
But again, this is a divisional game, so they're familiar with the scheme. I think they could have some moderate success. I'm not going crazy. I do think Gurley looked fantastic, by the way. Just throwing that out there. He looked like his actual normal self this past week. I don't know. I like the Rams here. I don't love them. I think I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. I'm definitely feeling better about my Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 2/wide receiver 1 play this week as opposed to the past couple weeks. But I guess give me the Rams. Just give it to me. I don't feel good about it at all because Russ is on the other side, but I think they're getting a little frisky right now.
I'm taking the Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 2.5. The past 4 games as an underdog for the Rams, they've gone 0-4 straight up and 1-3 against the spread. In the past 15 games as an underdog, they've gone 2-13 straight up. I don't know how that's possible, but
yeah,
it's true. And Seahawks in primetime since the start of the 2013 season, which I believe is when Russell Wilson's second year, I guess. They have gone 22-4-1 straight up in primetime games, and against the spread 18-7-2. So give me the Seahawks in this one. Panthers at Falcons. Panthers are favored by 2.0. Kyle Allen, I can't tell if he makes his team better or worse, but they've lost 4 in a row despite that, DJ Moore has been fantastic, and he has an amazing matchup this week.
Yes.
On the other side, hopefully Austin Hoover's back, because I don't know what to make of the Falcons either.
I mean, these teams both just are not good. And they've each fooled us at certain points in the year, different points of the year. I do think that the Panthers are definitely marginally better. I think they have the best player in this matchup in McCaffrey. I mean, if Julio's still banged up, I'm not feeling good at all about the Falcons. So, give me the Panthers on the road. I think, McCaffrey is just going nuts, and I don't think the Falcons have an answer. And I love what DJ Moore is doing. He's quarterback proof, honestly, at this point, because Kyle Allen is just straight up giving games away in the NFL sense, but DJ Moore is still very viable.
Yeah. Last 8 games, the Panthers have gone 1-7, both straight up and against the spread against the Falcons specifically. So I'm going to go. Week 11, Falcons came back and they came out of nowhere. And won 29-3. So I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. Next set of matchups: spicy potato taco, light but sneaky good. Lions at Vikings. Vikings are favored by 14 points. 14 points. Here.
Wow,
that's a huge spread. David Blau, I don't know. This guy might be Gardner Minshew 2.0 this year, but
yikes!
I don't know.
Is it time, Scott?
Should I get into it?
I think you have to.
This is like the most depressing fucking thing. So, okay, 5 leagues this year. One of them I did not make playoffs. Shout out girlfriend of the pod, Shelby. Sorry, our team sucked this year. My fault. Took James Conner, and I just was trying to get cute and be like, "Oh, we had him last year. Like, why not?" I already have Dalvin Cook in another league. Oof. So missed playoffs in that one. Another one, 6-6, along with 7 other teams in a 12-team league. 2 people are in playoffs already. There's 4 spots amongst 7 people. I have pretty good tiebreakers against most of them, actually. So it comes out to this week, right? Winning, you're in. Losing, you're out, pretty much. So Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Keep in mind the first game on Thursday on Thanksgiving was 12:30. It was Bears at Lions. I couldn't even tell you his freaking name. Jeff Driscoll. Matthew Stafford's still out. Jeff Driscoll is out. Hamstring injury. They're down to their 3rd string, who I didn't even know his name going into the game. David Blau, it turns out to be. I had Kenny Golladay in this league. The Bears were second against wide receivers up until that point. 3rd string quarterback. Primetime game. Really good defense.
Found out he started the same morning.
Yep. So what do? I sit Kenny Golladay, thinking I can live with it if he goes off. Little that I know I couldn't. But second against wide receivers, the Bears, 3rd string quarterback, right? Progressed through Thursday, one of the first plays of the game, 1 catch, 75 yards, touchdown. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then Sunday night rolls around, and I have Julio Jones ruled out. Now the panic is spreading because I'm playing Marquise Brown, who ends up with 1 catch for 1 yard against the 49ers. Kind of got cute there, but he had 2 touchdowns last week. And I didn't have a flex, so I picked up Darrell Williams on the Chiefs because he was starting, and he leaves the game with a hamstring injury after getting a touchdown, catching touchdown, receiving touchdown. And I am, as we're recording this, it's halftime of the Monday night game, and I've lost. I'm losing by 0.5 right now because he has Stephon Diggs, who needed to get less than 4 points Monday night, and I missed playoffs.
I think the healthiest thing here, which might actually be the unhealthiest, is to offload the responsibility here to Julio Jones. The Julio Jones thing is actually 100%. What killed you, because
that is.
I think logically starting Hollywood over Galladay, it's fine. Logically, that made enough sense. But the Darrell Williams necessity start is really what killed you, I think.
100%. Because if I knew Julio was going to be out, he was questionable. He was supposed to play. All intents and purposes, he was supposed to play. The fact that he was out at 7:45 on Thanksgiving night, where I was scrambling like 7 glasses of wine deep, I was like, I don't know what to do. And Kenny Galladay's on my fucking bench. That's really what killed me, honestly.
Damn.
And I could totally put it on Julio because honestly, I've had him in like last year and the year before, and like he gets like 5 touchdowns a year. But I'm I don't know.
You know what? So it's not Kenny Galladay's fault, but
it's not.
I feel like I'm going to think about that every time I think about Kenny Galladay now. So start him
in my brain.
Start him this week because the Vikings secondary, while pretty good, is not nearly as good as the Bears, and David Blau is incredible. If last week has any indication there. That being said,
one quick thing too: Kenny Galladay had 1 catch last week. 3 weeks ago, had 1 catch.
Yeah,
and 4 catches in between that. So that's why I was like 4 for like 61. I was like, yeah, he's gonna suck this week. Anyway, keep on going. I'm off my high horse.
No, I was gonna say.
Brutal.
All that being said, I think the Vikings win this game handily. I would definitely take the Lions to cover just because I think that line is kind of crazy, especially a divisional game late in the year. With a team like the Lions that could, it's not good, but it could be show some signs of life here. Give me the Vikings to win, Lions to cover, and I think Dalvin Cook has a monster day this upcoming week.
I could dig that. Worst defense against running backs so far, like 31st or 2nd. Next one, I'm going to agree with that too. The Vikings I don't think they're going to cover 14. Titans at Raiders. Titans are favored by 3. Titans are fun to watch, like we said last week.
Hell yeah.
Amazing matchup here, along with the pass catchers. If you need a deep league streamer in AJ Brown, don't even own Corey Davis. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Raiders side, Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller are really the only plays here. No one else. I mean, Tyrell Williams hasn't even had a good couple of weeks in a row. That's about it.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Titans in this one.
I totally agree. Derrick Henry, low key, best running back in the NFL right now.
He's so frustrating to play against.
Including the end of last season. I heard this somewhere. He is he has 17 touchdowns and he has 1,700 yards and 18 touchdowns or something in his past 16 games.
Yeah, I heard the same exact thing.
And I don't think the Raiders can slow him down whatsoever. He's a player that I'm seriously reconsidering my opinion on. I mean, I obviously
too.
I've reconsidered it, but it's something that took me a long time to kind of wrap my head around. This guy's a first-round pick next year. Sorry. It's just, I know that the Titans are not a team you want to, throw that heavy of an investment on, but, with Mike Vrabel as the head coach, they're leaning on him, and he's paying off. He's very productive.
And Tannehill makes his team good.
Yeah.
6-1 since he's started, and he has the 4th most quarterback points since he started. He took over. Next one, Chargers at Jaguars. Such a boring game here.
Oof.
Really boring game. Chargers are favored by 3. They find new ways to lose every single week.
They really do.
Every week. If for those that didn't watch, so I was watching the Raiders Chiefs game, and they cut it off because it was such a blowout. They went to the Chargers Broncos at Mile High. Drew Lock starting. I think they were the Broncos were up 20-17. Chargers came down the field, tied it up with a field goal. 14 seconds left in the game. Drew Lock takes over, throws a long fade to Courtland Sutton. There's a pass interference call. It's just a spot foul. They get to the 30-yard line. 3 seconds left. The Broncos kick a field goal and win the game. It was one play. It was a pass interference call.
Yep.
Casey Hayward. 40 yards.
Phil Rivers is washed, by the way.
Washed.
So is Nick Foles, though. The difference here, though, is that the Jaguars have Gardner Minshew. Chargers don't have anyone. I do like their skill position guys still, which is kind of like an oxymoron if you think about it, but I don't know. I think the Jaguars are just a better football team right now.
Monday, mid-evening, nighttime, Jaguars announced that they're keeping Gardner Minshew in as the start of the rest of the season.
Let's go.
Nick Foles is benched, second stringer. That was a rough 4 games there, Nick?
Oh yeah,
that you played. Looked terrible, but that helps DJ Chark a lot. So I think this is it's a really good sign for DJ Chark, and again, like those pass catchers, like you said, D.D. Westbrook. Chargers 8-3-1 since October 2018 in road games, and 8-4 straight up in those games. I think I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. Oof. No. I'm gonna take the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, like I can already see it. I can already see the Chargers like blowing this game in the fourth quarter in some crazy way. Gardner Minshew, hair flowing in the breeze, making it happen. Love it. Okay, it's back by popular demand. Would you rather? And we're doing it a little bit different than, in years past. What we're going to do here, in our games of the week, there's a lot of games, especially now that teams are off of bye, that don't get mentioned. And it doesn't mean that there's not fantasy implications going on there. So the games that we haven't talked about so far, Redskins at Packers, Broncos at Texans, Bengals at Browns, Dolphins at our hometown Jets, which is just going to be a phenomenal piece of football action. The Steelers at the Cardinals, and then the Giants at the Eagles, equally just scintillating football viewing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull some players from those matchups that you might have questions on, kind of a preview for, decisions you might be making in terms of like with starting, lower tier quarterbacks or streamer quarterbacks, maybe second quarterbacks if you're in the 2 QB league. So tight ends, defenses, and some flex level guys. So we're going to kind of debate those, not debate them. We're just going to give our quick 10-second maximum takes, would you rather style, and we're just going to go back and forth here. So, Scott.
Yes, I'm ready.
Carson Wentz against the Giants or Baker Mayfield against the Bengals. Both have good matchups. Who are you taking there?
Carson Wentz. 3 touchdowns last week, 1 interception at the end of the game. I'm taking Wentz again.
Music to my ears.
Kyler Murray versus Steelers or Sam Darnold versus the Dolphins.
Kyler Murray. Home. You don't know what you're getting from the Jets on a weekly basis. This past week should have showed you enough. Like I picked up Sam Darnold as a backup to my Carson Wentz in Hoboken. I'm cutting him immediately. Kyler Murray, rock solid.
I'm taking Darnold versus the Dolphins. 22 points in each game up besides last week against the Bengals. The last 3 weeks before that. This is a scintillating matchup here.
Ooh, okay. Now we get some real fun here, and this is probably only in play if you're in a 2 QB league here, but Ryan Fitzpatrick at the Jets after lighting up the Eagles last week, or Daniel Jones at the Eagles?
Oh, I love it. Ryan Fitzpatrick at the Jets. A little hometown... or a little homecoming back for
revenge game.
Yeah,
I like that.
You like that? All right, running backs now. Darius Geis, 2 touchdowns last week at the Packers, or Kenyon Drake versus the Steelers.
My fucking boy, Darius Geis is back. I might actually start him on the one team that I own him this week as my flex play. I mean, Kenyon Drake's definitely viable, but give me Geis.
Good thing I just dropped Geis for Kirk Cousins. I'm taking Geis as well.
Okay, let's see. Kareem Hunt against the Bengals or Miles Sanders against the Giants. I actually need to make this decision for my Hoboken team, so I'll be listening closely here.
I'm taking Kareem Hunt. They're going to beat up on the Bengals after the Bengals just beat the Jets, and they're going to be like high and mighty with Andy Dalton. I think the Browns are going to blow the Bengals out, and I think Kareem Hunt will get in for another touchdown. And I don't know if Jordan Howard's going to be back this week. That does scare me for Miles Sanders. It's a volume thing.
Okay, I like that.
Jamal Williams versus Redskins or Joe Mixon at Browns.
Oh, what to make of this Packers backfield? It's just like you never it's not like a committee where you are like, okay, this is a committee. This is like Aaron Jones is clearly the guy. He's had a very tumultuous last couple of weeks, and Joe Mixon low key kind of good the last couple of weeks. So give me Mixon here, just a sure thing.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I don't know. Mixon. That's fine.
Like for example, if Aaron Jones is 100% healthy, obviously this decision becomes easier. But if Williams is going to continue getting a lot of work, I think it's a muddy situation there. And I just think Mixon, even against the Browns, look, the Browns, we don't know what we're getting on a weekly basis. Who knows? Go
and here's the other thing. Not that he's been a stud all year, but he was drafted as supposedly a stud.
Right.
Play Mixon. Don't get cute. There we go. Don't play Jamal Williams over Mixon. Yeah. 2 teammates, Carlos Hyde versus the Broncos or Duke Johnson versus the Broncos.
Oh, God. I think Duke Johnson just because I think that the Texans figured out they can exploit teams with Duke Johnson catching the ball. I just don't think Carlos Hyde is very good. This changes a little if it's a non-PPR league, then I don't know if I'd play either one. But I would just say Duke in general.
Why have they taken so long to figure that out, though? It kind of scares me.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'll take Duke as well.
Coming from the team that still doesn't have a general manager. Just
right, and they're not going to have one next year. They just announced.
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
Okay, now this one is nuts. If you were to tell me, I'd be asking you this preseason. Devontae Parker at the Jets or Odell Beckham Jr. versus the Bengals. What do you think?
Whew. Were they drafted the same year? You know what? No, I think Odell was 14. Devontae Parker was 15. They were both first rounders.
Okay.
I think, right? Were they? Yeah, I don't think they were the same year. Give me Devontae Parker.
Oh, my God.
Insane last week. 2 touchdowns, 7 catches, I think 159 yards. It's at the Jets, who, I don't know, who's their cornerback? Brian Poole?
Yikes.
Nothing.
I think this is a trap. I think this one's a trap right here. I think if you drafted Odell, this is sort of like the Mixon thing. I know what Parker looked like last week. Now, first off, this is a little bit different because Parker has been electric the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Odell Beckham goes off on your bench and Parker does nothing, that's not going to be fun. I don't. You know what? Start both these guys. Just start them both. I think they're both definitely starters here.
I'll give you. I'll pose you another one to you because it's kind of similar in the same vein. Would you rather play Juju Smith if he was playing Juju Smith-Schuster or Cortland Sutton?
Sutton, 100%.
Sutton. It's a very similar thing. Parker and Sutton are extremely similar this year.
Okay.
Breakout candidates, bad quarterback play, bad teams, but they're putting it together, a la DeAndre Hopkins 4 years ago, where he had 4 different quarterbacks throwing the ball. Cortland Sutton's going to be next year's DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, like prime DeAndre Hopkins. But Odell Beckham and Juju Smith-Schuster, 2nd-round picks, 3rd-round picks, not put it together. So I'm going to take Parker. You got to play Odell, but daily fantasy, Parker.
Okay.
Sterling Shepard at Eagles or Tyler Boyd at the Browns.
I mean, we saw what just happened to the Eagles secondary. Give me Shepard. I don't love it. I think Boyd is kind of a really good player, but I don't know. I just got a feeling. I just think the Eagles, I'm actually finally fully out on them. It took that loss to the Dolphins to get there. But I think Sterling Shepard could have a nice week.
Give me Boyd, slot receiver, Andy Dalton back throwing it to him. Boyd at the Browns.
Okay. Jarvis Landry against the Bengals or Will Fuller against the Broncos.
Jarvis Landry. Never owning Will Fuller ever again. Never playing him. I played him again this week. It didn't matter because Shelby's team were out, but I've learned my lesson 6 times over.
Yeah,
Jarvis Landry.
This is coming from a big-time Will Fuller apologist, but Jarvis is so safe right now. Just go with him. I like that.
James Washington at the Cardinals or Christian Kirk versus the Steelers. 2 opposing sides here.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez, this is tough.
Yeah, I made him tough here.
It seems like Duck really likes James Washington. If Juju is out, Washington, 100%. If Juju plays, I would still go Kirk, I think, here.
Here's the thing. Steelers, slot receivers against the Steelers always do well. Since last year, they're always have statistically top 15 weeks. But James Washington, the past 2 weeks, has had long touchdowns. Cardinals are 30th against wide receiver, so I'm gonna take James Washington. This is your guy next.
Oh my god.
Tight end we're moving on to. Ryan Griffin versus the Dolphins or Mike Gesicki at the Jets. Opposing sides again.
I know how great Gesicki's looked, but give me Griffin. I just think I picked him up a couple weeks ago when I had Kelsey on a bye, and I did drop him after to pick up somebody else after that 1 week rental.
Griffin?
Yeah, after the 1 week rental, and I was like, I had that moment where I was like, should I just hang on to this guy? He's that good. I think he's a starting tight end right now, and give me Griffin.
Yeah. This is such a tough one. So the Dolphins are before Monday night. So before the stats read set, the Dolphins are 18th against tight ends, and let me check what the Jets are. Jets are 4th against tight ends. So I'll take Griffin as well. A little better matchup. Jets are pretty good against tight ends this year.
Yeah, and I think if you're gonna take Sam, if you like Sam, then you have to go Griffin because that's his guy.
Yeah, double up. 100%.
All right, let's look at some other tight ends. Dallas Goedert against the Giants or Noah Fant at the Texans. Where are you going here?
I'm going to go Goddard. I know he's a second technically string, but Carson Wentz looks for him early and often, and this is another good matchup for Wentz. So look for him to exploit his best options, which is pretty much Ertz and Goddard at this point, and maybe Jeffrey. Noah Fant could get 1 catch for 5 yards, and that's getting cute. You talk about that.
Yeah, and I think Goddard is just like he's clearly growing on Wentz, and he's clearly growing as a player. I think he could be a monster next year. Like I think he could be like a top 5 tight end next year in fantasy.
Him and Irv Smith, man, second stringers this year. Forget it next year. Defenses, two sets of defense matchups here. Packers defense special teams versus the Redskins, or the Jets defensive special teams versus the Dolphins.
Ooh, Jamal Adams a little banged up, so give me the Packers here. That's really the biggest thing here because I think he's the best defensive player on both of those units combined. But I think the Redskins are probably feeling their oats a little bit after beating putting down a beat down on that Panthers defense. So give me the Packers.
Yeah, I agree. The Dolphins can kind of put up some points, low key. 39 against the Eagles?
Yeah, absolutely. And our secondary is probably even worse than theirs. So
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. All right, last one. Browns defense against the Bengals or the Eagles defense against the Giants. Where are you going?
Eagles defense versus the Giants. The Eagles are home. That's a tough place to play for Danny Dimes. The Bengals, they have Andy Dalton back. Not that does like that much for that offense, but it makes it a lot better than Ryan Finley throwing it. Browns defense hasn't really put together a solid season statistically, so I'll take the Eagles.
Death, taxes, Danny Dimes turning the ball over. The certainties in life. I think he started 11 games, 11 picks, 10 lost fumbles.
Fumbles is the big thing for him. Yep.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to feast. I think they're going to be, first off, we've been there. It's embarrassing to lose to the Dolphins, but look what happened the next week. So I think a major bounce back is in order, just to throw people off the scent that NFC East race to the top, or I guess race to not sink to the bottom is it's going to stay heated moving forward.
The mood is tense.
Get into us for Flex Friday if you have more questions like these, because there's a lot of questions out there. We'll try to set you straight before you go into the first week of fantasy playoffs.
That does it for Week 14 preview / Week 1 of the fantasy football playoffs in most leagues. Shout out, friend of the pod, Griffin Osler, has 2-week playoffs, so he actually started last week, but most leagues, standard leagues, it's 1 week playoff, starts Week 14. So, again, send us your teams. We care here at UQ.
Oh, yeah.
Send us your teams and send us your memes.
Ooh, I like that. Get active in those Flex Friday channels. This is where we talk you off the ledge. Send us what you're thinking Flex-wise. We'll put some common sense out there. Not all of it will pay off. Disclaimer. Maybe 30% of it won't. Sorry. But mathematically, we're going to talk you off the ledge for making some poor decisions like the kind that may or may not have plagued members of this panel in the past couple weeks. Yours included. Like, if I just threw out my week, whatever it was, 11 Deshaun Jackson decision to 100 random fantasy players, I would guess 75% of them would say, what are you doing? You're a nutcase. And I would have been fine. So allow us to be that sounding board for you, because it's go time. It's time to make some dough and just, let your league mates pay for your Christmas gifts so you don't have to spend a dime. We've been doing it for years. Hell yeah.
Since 2017.
And send us your dreams.
We're just going to leave that.
Is that it? Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
And leave us a review. Leave us a review.
Just dreams. Okay.
Leave it.